Hello and welcome in, everyone. Scootsy16 here with another episode of the Chemlock League, here with the Outlaws in Game 3 of the conference finals. And this is it, folks. The Dirt Dogs have battled back in Game 2 at home. They were able to get the best of their former pitcher, Madden Zimmerman, and they won 3-0 off the back of a complete game shutout from ace pitcher Bitzer Hines. And now we will have to face off against their all-star, Ellie Acosta, who will be pitching against Brody Mashington, who came in for us at the end of the year, pitched really, really great in his first appearance in the regular season. He pitched really well against the Reapers in Game 2 of that series, and he'll get the start here, looking to see if he can help his team here in Game 3 at home. So we're going to get right into this one, and taking a look at the lineup, nothing has changed. I am just going to chalk this up to we ran into a buzzsaw last time out. So the lineup will be exactly the same as it was the last time, as it was the same lineup that scored 10 runs in Game 1 of this series. So Sorelli, Ramon Lee, Tony Centercut, Giovanni Mays, Rock Quintana, Justice Colon, Glass Snyder, Fernando Branch, and Dalton Babshishin will be your lineup against the Dirt Dogs behind Brody Mashington. We will be using our alternates again here at home, and we're going to get into this one. Winner heads to the finals to face off against the Dive Bombers, who are the #1 seed. So whoever ends up winning this one will be at a disadvantage in the championship finals, but this is going to be a very, very interesting matchup. Fun fact, the game that we lost against the Dirt Dogs at Shaka, the first time we went to Shaka to play the Dirt Dogs, and the first time that the Dirt Dogs won against the Outlaws. So I hope that that was an anomaly. We are now home where we feel most comfortable. Brody Mashington will have to face off against Jedediah Anger, who is locked in, and you can feel a different feeling in the atmosphere in this one. The crowd is really into it already. 1-2 count for Anger, and he strikes out. So nice start from Brody Mashington, getting the first out to get this game started. And now Colin Cabrera, who they have stuck with in the DH spot today, is still tense. Fastball hitter activated at tier 2. And he gets the fastball, sends it into left field, so maybe the loyalty pays off there as he gets a 1-out base hit against Brody Mashington. And now Mr. Ingrown, who another player they've been sticking with, who's been struggling, and not struggling necessarily, but dealing with an injury, that twisted finger. He is still locked in. Tier 2 outside pitch. 1-1 count here for Ingrown against Mashington, who takes a strike. Nice pitch there. 1-2 count, and swings through strike 3. Mashington with another strikeout, that time against their #3 hitter. And now he has to face Joshua Woods, who's batting .286, 2 RBIs on the year. In the playoffs. He's locked in and looking to mash something here against Mashington. Dribbles that one foul, so it's a 0-2 count here with 2 outs. Runner on first, not much speed. Takes the ball, just misses the top of the zone there. Nice pitch from Mashington, and that ball is punished. Mistake pitch that he makes him pay for, and that ball gets out into the second deck, the first row of the second deck, and Joshua Woods will hand the Dirt Dogs the 2-0 lead here in the top of the first. Mashington is pissed. Giovanni Mays trying to settle him down and saying, hey, it's very early. You know what our offense is capable of, and you know we can get back here at home. Mashington tense after 13 pitches, getting 2 outs, but then not able to finish off the Dirt Dogs in this first inning. Odin Thomas falls behind 0-2, and then Mashington puts that one at the bottom of the zone. It's going to go foul. Takes ball 1 just inside, and Brody is mad that he didn't get that pitch. And then fouls another one. Odin Thomas trying to stay alive. Takes another ball low and outside. 2-2 count, and hits that one off the end of the bat to Ramon Lee, who gets it out at first base. But 2-run score on the Joshua Woods 2-run homer. And the Outlaws will find themselves playing from behind immediately. Ellie Acosta, the all-star, will get to step on the mound with a 2-run lead. You see that gold glove in her hand. That is because she was the Cy Young winner in Season 2 with her .98 ERA, with her .98 WHIP, walks per 9 innings, and an 8.5 strikeout per walk ratio. 17 strikeouts on the year, 1 complete game shutout, and she gets the strikeout there against Tony Sorelli. I'm sorry, Tony Sorelli. Who the hell is Tony Sorelli? Braden Sorelli. And Ramon Lee doing his part as he gets a base hit into right field to be on base here for Tony Centercut, batting .583, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. He already has a grand slam against the Dirt Dogs. And here comes Elia Costa's biggest battle as she gets him to pop up on the fastball first pitch. And he is going to fly out to left field. Jedediah Anger catches that. Ramon Lee retreats back to first. And so Elia Costa wins the first battle between the Cy Young winner and the MVP. We'll see that matchup again, hopefully later on, or maybe hopefully not, if Elia Costa gets pulled out of this one early. That would mean we beat her up pretty good. Giovanni Mays, another very formidable bat, gets ahead in the count 2-0 with 2 outs, and swings at that one, but pops it foul. Runner on first with not much speed. Another foul ball there, so now K Collector activates for Acosta. 2-2 count here with 2 outs for Mays, and he stays alive with a foul. Crossed up is a trait that we will notice as well, as not able to make a play on that is Joshua Woods, who dives for it, but Giovanni Mays able to keep this one alive, passing it down the line with 2 outs, 2 runners on for Rock Quintana, former MVP in Season 1. Elia Costa has to be careful here with her slider and her changeup. We were talking about how Rock has not been able to barrel the ball very well here in the playoffs. We'll see what he does here. 1-1 count as he takes a changeup for a strike and then hits that one up the middle. Joshua Woods is able to range over, gets it over to first in time for out number 3. So Rock Quintana not able to get the job done, and Elia Costa, while she found herself in a bit of trouble giving up 2 hits, she was able to get out of that inning without allowing a run. So the Dirt Dogs looking to see if they can add to their lead. Brody Mashington still tense against Cameron Harper. Harper batting 111 in the playoffs. He grounds out for a shortstop. Ramon Lee has enough time as Harper does have that slow poke trait. He will drop to tense mojo. Archie Barton, who was earlier in this series rattled, he is now tense, but he sends that one first pitch swinging into right field, and the ballpark is not going to hold that one as he barks up the wrong tree and sends that one out to right field. 377, his first home run of the playoffs, and is a 3-0 lead for the Dirt Dogs. And Brody Mashington just does not seem to have it today, unfortunately. He'll now turn to Esme Floggins. He's still tense with 1 out. He misses the zone on that pitch. Gets a pop-out foul, so 1-1 count, and then that dribble down the line. Fernanda Branch with cannon arm activated gets that one for out number 2. So nice play from the third baseman. That's why we keep her out there. And then Alicia Guerra will come up 308, 2 home runs, both solo shots, both happened in the first round of the playoffs. Pushes 1 foul, pops 1 foul, and now down 0-2 with 2 outs. And Mashington looking to see if he can recover here. It's a foul, and then that one hit hard to the right field or left field line, but it's going to be foul. So 0-2 will do it again. Mashington gets the strikeout. Nice pitch there, but he is going to have to find himself a center because he has been struggling. He gives up another home run, and it is 3-0 heading into the bottom of the second. And Justice Colon will have to face off against Elia Costa, who is a B-plus pitcher, so you won't see Ace Exterminator here. Gets a first pitch strike, ball high. Justice, the number 5 in the MVP voting, has been struggling in the playoffs, batting .364, does have his solo shot. K Collector activates, and she stays alive just swinging at that one, making contact and pushing it foul. And then that one gets past the diving second baseman, and that's going to get all the way to the wall with Tier 3 base rounder. Justice Colon is going to think about third, but ends up holding. As Cameron Harper is tense, but was able to get that one in quick enough, and a leadoff double for Justice Colon. And now she's hoping that the rest of her team could come through for her as she's standing on second base with great speed. Outside pitch activated for Glass Snyder, who takes a ball out of the zone. And then a strike at the outside part of the plate, but he does not bite. and then pulls that one, and it's going to get into left field, and Jedediah Anger, who is locked in, and that ball was shallow, she's going to have to stay at third base, and it is first and third with no outs for Fernanda Branch, 375 average, 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. So an opportunity to help her team out. Takes a strike, followed by a ball. 1-1 count here. Elia Costa finding herself in some struggle. And oh my God, did she do it? She did. Fernanda Branch snaps that one off and sends it into right center field. Elia Costa made a big mistake pitching to Fernanda Branch, her 3rd home run and 8th RBI of the playoffs. I almost sat her down, but I wanted her defense at third base, and I felt like I wanted to give her another chance, and she paid off. 3-run homer to tie this game, and now it is a brand new ball game, and Dalton Babshishin follows that with a single up the middle. So that is 4 consecutive hits for the Outlaws against Elia Costa, who's starting to lose some momentum here. In the bottom of the second, Braden Sorelli is tense after striking out in his first at-bat. Elia Costa is tense. Braden Sorelli with great speed over that first base, and so they pitch out. And Sorelli swings at that one and fouls it off. 1-1 count with no outs. Takes a strike inside. Tough out activates. K Collector activates for both of these players, and she does it. She picks off Dalton Babshishin. Again, not necessary to steal there. And so with a 1-2 count, takes ball too low. Elia Costa was able to read Dalton like a book, and Braden Sorelli grounds out to shortstop, and maybe that would have been a double play anyways, but it's going to be 2 outs, nobody on for Ramon Lee, batting .429. Elia Costa still tense, even though she had a big moment there where she picked off Babshishin and then gets the ground out. 0-2 count, and K Collector activates, misses the plate there, and then gets the strikeout there. So she completely falls behind to the Outlaws, and then we lose all momentum as she was able to get 3 consecutive outs. But a 3-run homer from Fernanda Branch. Big moment there as we needed her to come through, and she did. And it is a tied ball game. So now Mashington, who is still tense, looking to see if he can feel a little bit better about himself, gets 2 strikes in a row on Anger, who is still locked in, and he's not able to get to that one as Ramon Lee ranged back but could not get to it, and it's going to be a base hit to left field to start this top of the third. So a lot of game left to play. Colin Cabrera comes in 1 for 1 with a single. He's still tense, looking for a fastball. High pressure situation here is going to negatively impact Mashington. Good speed over there at first base as Anger is locked in. Checking on the runner, Justice Colon applies the tag, but nothing doing. And that ball, oh my God, what a play from Fernanda Branch, and gets up, knocks it down to keep that ball in the infield on the hit and run. And Fernanda Branch was able to activate her cannon arm to get the out at first base, but the runner does advance to second. So with 1 out, runner in scoring position for Mr. Ingrown, who's locked in, but still strained. Looking for an outside pitch. Mashington still tense. Outside pitch activates, but pops a foul. 0-2. Mashington looking to close this one out. He throws a ball in the dirt. Nice block from Mays to keep it in front of him. Does not bite on that off-speed pitch out of the zone. 2-2 count. Runner takes off for third. Another hit and run, but that pops foul. We'll see if they do it again. Runner does not take off this time, and Mr. Ingrown swings through strike 3. Alex Hernandez in the dugout. You can see he was pumped. And now runner at second. Joshua Woods, who already hit a 2-run homer earlier today, is locked in. Off-speed hitter activated. Runner at second, 2 outs, and Mashington back to neutral mojo after that strikeout. Gets that one to pop up deep center field. It looks like it's going to stay in the ballpark, and Dalton Babshishin catches that about a step off of the warning track for out number 3, and that got very scary. Oh my goodness, it's a clean inning for Mashington. He's back to neutral mojo. So in the bottom of the third, Tony Centercut, who's locked in, will come up to the plate. 0 for 1 today. Elia Costa is back to neutral mojo after getting out of that last inning with less damage than we thought could have happened. 1-1 count here. This is the MVP Cy Young moment here. 1-2 count. K Collector activates, hits the fastball, but right to Mr. Inground as it was off the inside of his bat. And Tony center cut 0 for 2 against the Cy Young winner. Ellie Acosta winning the battle 2 times so far. Giovanni Mays comes up 0 for 1, takes a first pitch strike. Second pitch low. And Giovanni Mays hits that one hard to left field, and it's going to go into the corner there, and it looks like it's going to bounce off the top of the wall and misplayed by Jedediah Anger, who couldn't field that one properly. Giovanni Mays gets the double, but was about a foot away from that being a solo home run. And so he's standing on second base for Rock Quintana, who's 0 for 1 today with 1 out. Off-speed hitter activated. First pitch ball low out of the zone. Gets a strike for first pitch or for a strike, excuse me. Another strike there, falls behind 1-2. K Collector activates, off-speed pitch but out of the zone. And Rock Quintana froze on the changeup, and Ellie Acosta gets the K for out number 2. And Justice Colon 1 for 1 with a double. High pressure situation here. Ellie Acosta still neutral, 51 pitches. She throws that one out of the zone for a ball. Justice Colon sends that. That's going to be out of here. Justice is served as that one bounces off of the stairs and then goes into the second deck. That one took off when it hit the ground, but 388, a 2-run homer for Justice Colon, the captain of this team and the number 5 hitter in the number 5 player in the top 10 for season 2. And that's it for Ellie Acosta. Cinnamon Muddy Water comes in, and it's a 5-3 lead for the Outlaws in the bottom of the third. Glass Snyder comes in with 2 outs. Muddy Water looking to see if she can slow down the damage, and Glass Snyder's going to bloop that one into right field all the way into the corner. Odin Thomas gets it because of slowpoke. Glass Snyder has to stop at first base, but it's a 2-out hit for him. Fernanda Branch comes in. She had the game-tying 3-run homer last inning. She comes in locked in, 1 for 1 with a 3-run homer. Her 3rd home run of the year, of the playoffs, excuse me. Pops one foul for out number 1, or for strike 1. Swings through strike 2. 0-2 count for Muddy Water. And Fernanda Branch sends that into right field. That's going to get all the way down the line into the corner. Odin Thomas gets it, and Fernanda Branch stops at first, but Glass Snyder read that properly and was able to get all the way to third. So another 2-out rally here. 1 for 1 is Dalton Babshishin from the 9 spot. Cinnamon Muddy Water will have tier 2 surrounded activated with runners on the corners. Nice play from Esme Floggins. She's able to dive, knock that ball down, get up, and toss it to first for out number 3. Muddy Water able to get out of the jam, but Ellie Acosta pulled in the 3rd inning after giving up a 2-run homer from Justice Colon. And now Brody Mashington playing with a lead. He's neutral. 45 pitches into his day. Odin Thomas comes in looking for a bad ball. It's tier 1, but still something that can make an impact here. He's still tense. 0 for 2, or 0-2 on the count here. He pulls one foul and then another foul ball here. 50th pitch for Mashington is a ball high. Doesn't get him to chase there. And then that one dribbled off the end of the bat. Fernanda Branch with cannon arm activated gets the easy out for number 1. 5-3 on the putout. Cameron Harper is still tense. 0 for 1 today. High pressure situation, so that tense mojo will impact him even more. Gets a first pitch strike. That ball drops out of the zone for a ball. 1-1 with 1 out, and that's going to fall into the zone for a strike. 1-2 count for Mashington. Gets the strikeout. Nice pitching there. The former All-Star of the Below Zeros has come up clutch for us after struggling in the first inning, and that they're going to pull him for Jacoby Maddox, who pitched last time out, had a good inning. Clutch activated here for Archie Barton, who is neutral now after hitting a solo shot his last time. And he falls behind. Whiffer activates. K Collector activates on an 0-2 count and hits that one down the line. Just foul. Just misses the bag. And nice effort from Justice Colon. 0-2 count here, staying alive after fouling that one off, fouling 3 pitches in a row with Whiffer activated. And there it is. Jacoby Maddox gets the strikeout on Barton, and that's going to be a clean 4th inning for the Outlaws pitching staff. Brody Mashington struggled to start this game, but fought through it. Valiant performance for him. akin to the Kurt Schilling bloody sock game. I'm just kidding, but he ends up with a really nice outing nonetheless after giving up 2 big home runs. He gets the team in a position to win this one. In the bottom of the 4th, Cirelli comes up, tough out activates in a 2-2 count. He's still tense. Muddy Water will look to see if she can put him out. 2-2, he fouls one off, followed by a ball out of the zone, full count, and Cirelli swings through that pitch as she pulls the string, and you can see her screaming. She's absolutely pumped for this. And now Ramone 1 for 2 with a single. Muddy Water getting tired as she was in this last game. Actually, she did get a day off from Bitzer Hines from the complete game shutout. 1-1 count here for Lee. Muddy Water gets the strike. 1-2 count, and Ramon Lee will fight that one off foul. Do it again. And she tries to use her put-out pitch, but he makes contact. 1-2 count again. And that ball just out of the zone, but he makes contact on the fastball. Throws the curveball. He fights off another one. So good battle brewing here for Ramon Lee on a 1-2 count. And dribbles that one to the mound. Muddy Water scoops it up, barehands it, and tosses the first for out number 2. Tony Centercut, thankful to walk up to the plate, not having to face off against Ellie Acosta. 0 for 2. She did get the better of him, even with 2 fastballs that she gave him. He couldn't make good contact, and looking to see what he could do against Cinnamon. Her 24th pitch is a fastball. He swings right through it. 1-1 count with 2 outs for Tony. He takes a changeup for a ball or for a strike. 1-2 count, and does not bite on that pitch out of the zone. 2-2, 2 outs. Centercut pulls that down the line as Esme Floggins dives out of the out of field of play, into foul territory, and then she cannot get up fast enough to get that one over to first in time. So Tony Centercut with an infield single. Giovanni Mays comes up having to face off against Mags Drader, not the best pitcher for the Dirt Dogs to put out there in the bottom of the 4th, and she reads him like a book. Another runner picked off, and we know Tony Centercut struggles to try and steal bases. He drops from locked in back to neutral. Again, not necessary with one of your best hitters up at the plate, Giovanni Mays, but it ends up being the end of the inning. Mags Drader doesn't even have to throw a pitch. Jacoby Maddox will come up and stay in this game. 1-2 count here. Jacoby Maddox against Esme Floggins, and tough out and K Collector activate for both. And that ball, nice leaping play from Ramon Lee. Nabs that one out of the air. I didn't think he was going to have the hops for that one, and he does. We're in now max pressure situation. 10 pitches into Jacoby Maddox day against Alicia Guerra. 1-1 count here. That ball is going to be sent into left field. Nice hard hit from Alicia Guerra with 1 out, and Jacoby Maddox, who was locked in, drops back down to neutral mojo here in a max pressure situation. Jedediah Anger, with him being locked in, is going to be even more of a formidable opponent here. Jacoby getting the first pitch, 15th pitch of his day, and he pops him up into center field. It's shallow. Dalton Babshishin ranges in, calls off Cirelli, catches that for out number 2. Alicia Guerra has to retreat back to first, and Jacoby Maddox will be locked in again against Colin Cabrera, who is tense. And so this is a nice little swing here for Jacoby Maddox, who, with that max pressure situation being locked in, helps him to get back to his normal traits. But oh my God, Colin Cabrera ties this game. Jacoby Maddox, I don't think he should have been in this one at all, in my opinion. Instead, he stays in a little too long. I still thought he was going to get the best of Cabrera, so I can't pretend like I thought this was going to happen. And it is a 5-5 ball game. Jacoby Maddox gives up the 2-run homer in the top of the 5th inning with 2 outs, and now the Dirt Dogs right back in this one. Maddox back to neutral mojo against Mr. Ingrown, who has been struggling today, but we know what he's capable of. 1-2 count. K Collector activates, outside pitch active for Mr. Ingrown, so that's the pitch he's looking for. 2-2, and swings through strike 3, so Jacoby Maddox collects another K, but he does blow the lead as he gives up a 2-run homer to tense Colin Cabrera into right field. And so the Outlaws offense. This is going to be a game for the ages, folks, because this Outlaws offense needs to get a little bit more across. They are facing the pitcher that they have gotten the best of many times before. Archie Barton makes a nice diving play up the middle, and Giovanni Mays just doesn't have the legs to try and stretch that one out. He's getting into old age, and he is a little bit slower, so off-speed hitter, Quintana would be a nice time for you to show up for us. Mags gets the nice called strike there, and then he pulls one down the line. Esme Floggins, protecting the line, gets the line out for out number 2. Justice Cologne, 2 for 2 with a home run, a double, and 2 RBIs. Big performance day for her. Takes a first pitch strike. Mags looking to see if she can use that elite curveball to her advantage, and Justice Cologne will pull that one to Archie Barton, who gets it over to first. A 1-2-3 inning through our 3-4-5 hitters, and we head to the top of the 6th, a 5-5 ball game, folks, and winner takes all. What is going to happen as Joshua Woods 1 for 2 with a home run, max pressure, he's locked in. We pull Jacoby Maddox, which is the right call. Chris Blopside comes in. He has seen this team before. He gets the first pitch pop-up to shortstop, and Ramon Lee calling that for out number 1. Lopside in his last time out, he pitched 2 innings, gave up 5 hits. It was a solo home run. I don't know who was the one that hit that home run. He did not allow a walk and struck out once. Carmelo Lansley getting his first appearance in this game. Tier 2 pitch hitter pulls Odin Thomas out of this game. First pitch strike, that curveball for a strike, 0-2 count here, takes a pitch inside, 1 out, and Lansley will ground out to short. Ramon Lee to first for out number 2. Cameron Harper will come up with a tense mojo and an 0 for 2 performance so far. His contact is abysmal right now, as reverse splits is working in to Lopside's favor. First pitch for a ball, followed by a strike in the outside corner. 1-1 count, and Cameron Harper will take strike 2. 1-2 count with 2 outs, and he swings through strike 3. Crisp and clean for Chris Blopside as he gets through the 6th, the 4, 5, 6 hitters, and now it is the opportunity of the Outlaws to finish this game off, walk it off, and head to the Dive Bombers Park for their second championship performance, but they will have to get past a locked-in Mags Drader with their 7, 8, 9 hitters, and getting the outside pitch, but pushing it foul. 1-1 count here for Drader against Glass Snyder. Drader locked in and gets the strikeout there, froze him on the fastball, and that's out number 1. Here comes Fernanda Branch, who's locked in, 2 for 2 with a 3-run homer to tie this game earlier. She also has a single, and Drader will try and avoid giving a mistake pitch to Fernanda Branch. She is still locked in. 1-1 count here. Branch takes strike 2 outside. That looked way outside. And she has to stay alive, so she fights that one off. 1-2. And swings through strike 3. So Mags Drader, who has struggled and actually gave up 2 walk-off wins to the Outlaws in the 2 regular season games we faced off against them, she has come in and lights out so far. Dalton Babshishin, the last hope before extras, takes a first pitch strike with 2 outs. Second pitch strike, 0-2 count here for Babshishin, takes strike 3. We're going to extras, and this is not what I wanted to see. We will go 7, 8, 9 for the Dirt Dogs, starting with Archie Barton, who has 1 home run today, a solo shot. Earlier in this one, he is currently neutral, but has tier 2 clutch, which activates in a max pressure situation. Chris Blopside will have to be very careful against a very good hitter. Falls behind 2-0. And gets the pop-up as he throws that elite curveball, and it stayed high in the zone, and it looked good, but he could not get on top of it, and that's going to be a pop-out for out number 1. Esme Floggins will have reverse splits activated against her, and she's going to be replaced by Jeff Pennington. Pennington comes in to switch to the right side of the plate so that reverse splits doesn't activate. His first appearance that we've seen him, he has gotten on base every time he has appeared. 2-1 count here, and dribbles one off the end of the bat over to Justice Cologne, steps on the bag for out number 2, and Chris Blopside is now locked in. Max pressure against Alicia Guerra, who's 1 for 2 with a single. And Alicia is having a good playoff, batting .333 with 2 home runs. She takes a first pitch strike and then hits that one over to Justice Cologne, who steps on the bag easily. A 1-2-3 inning for Chris Blopside. Exactly what we wanted to see out of him. And now we will see the top of our lineup, starting with Braden Sorelli, who's tense. I almost want to say pull him for Leanna Welch, or Jeff Pennington gets pulled for Aromatisse Hendricks, who will be at third base. Braden Sorelli will stay out here against Drader, who's still locked in but getting tired. Ball too low, 22nd pitch here, and a 2-0 count, and he swings through a ball for strike 1. Takes ball 3-1 count here in his favor. And he blasts one left center field. It's got the legs. It's gonna get out of here. The walk-off home run from Braden Sorelli. We talked about pulling him. And oh my God, he comes through the walk-off home run to win this one and sending the Outlaws to the championship for the second time in 2 years. Braden Sorelli, who's been struggling for most of the playoffs. We leaned into it. We let him stay in. And he gets the win against Max Drader, who gives up her third walk-off win to the Outlaws. Holy crap, what a game. Holy shit. This one, I was very, very nervous. I thought we were done for. When this game started and we gave up 3 runs in those first 2 innings from Mashington, I thought we were done. But Mashington battled. He really battled through this game, and he gave the Outlaws time to catch up. Fernanda Branch has come up huge for this team a few times in this playoff series, and she did it again today. For the Dirt Dogs, they did everything they could on offense. We saw a 2-run homer from the mercenary Colin Cabrera, who's been struggling all season long, but gets a big hit and a big spot for his team. He went 2 for 3. He had 2 runs scored and a 2-run homer. Joshua Woods got that leadoff or that 2-run homer in the first inning, which helped his team get the spark that they needed at the beginning. And then Archie Barton, who, what a range of emotions for him in this playoff series. As at one point he was rattled, comes into this one and goes 1 for 3 with a solo home run. And even though they scored 5 runs, it was not enough. The Dirt Dogs lost to the Outlaws here, and Braden Sorelli with that solo home run, the only hit of the day, was the game winner, the walk-off shot. Ramon Lee 1 for 3, Tony Centercut had a rough day, 1 for 3. Giovanni Mays had a decent day, 2 for 3 with a run scored. He scored on the I think the Justice Cologne 2-run homer. She was 2 for 3. She had a double. She had a home run, a 2-run shot. She also scored 2 runs. So a good day for her. Glass Snyder 2 for 3. Fernanda Branch, loyalty pays off sometimes. She went 2 for 3 with a 3-run homer. And that was really a big moment as we were falling behind, and Elia Costa was getting a lot of momentum on her side. Bab Shishin went 1 for 3 as well. Speaking of Acosta, she gets a no decision here, 2 2/3. She gave up 8 hits. She gave up 2 home runs and 5 RBIs and struck out 3. Muddy Water had a good performance. She went 1 inning, 3 hits, but did not allow a run, struck out 1, and she kind of just got tired. And then Max Drader, they were pushing their luck because she was pitching really well, and then she ended up giving up her only hit, being the home run, to end this game. She went 2 1/3, striking out 3. She gets the loss. Brody Mashington, like I said, battled. He went 3 2/3, gave up 4 hits and 2 home runs. Those were the 3 earned runs. He also struck out 5, so that line does not look really great. But when you think about if he adjusts those 2 pitches, he's probably in a much better line here. Probably lasts longer too. Jacoby Maddox blows the game. Initially, he went 1 1/3. He did give up the 2-run homer to Colin Cabrera, but otherwise pitched decently well with 2 strikeouts. And then Chris Blopside, what more could you ask for from the young player, as he went 2 innings and gave up no hits, no base runners, and got the strikeout to get the win for him. Wow, this game was nuts. Justice Cologne gets the player of the game here, number 1 star. I don't know if I agree with that, but I'm not going to argue at this point. I was just happy to see what we got out of this. Fernanda Branch with the number 2, and then Colin Cabrera with the number 3. The Outlaws outlast the Dirt Dogs at home. You can see none of the fans have left their seats as they're celebrating with the team on the field. They are getting pictures while they can as the team is just jumping up and down. And this was an incredible series as it looked like it was going to be a domination from the Outlaws as they won 10-1 in game one. They go to Shaka, get shut out by Bitzer Hines in game two, losing 3-0, and then they come battle back and forth after falling behind initially in game three. The Dirt Dogs looked like they were going to take this one as they were going to have Ellie Acosta on the mound, and then they had that lead, and then they end up just slowly whittling away. The Outlaws battled all the way through that one, winning on the walk-off home run from Braden Sorelli. So we will head to the finals, facing off against the number one seed, the 13-3 Dive Bombers. They have won 4 out of 5 games that they've played in the playoffs so far. They did go to 3 games against the favorites, losing their first game and then coming back and winning 4 consecutive games. So we have our work cut out ahead of us, as they will have Rip Sutton going to the mound. And it shows Lily Dubs, but I don't know if we need to have her out there. The unfortunate part is that the Dive Bombers got a day off. The Outlaws did not. So just taking a quick look over here, it looks like Giovanni Mays is tired still, and I'm going to keep him out there as long as I can. Looking at the suggested lineup here before we finish this one. Oh, actually, I want to take a look at the league leaders as well. Lily Dubs. What would we look at? Brody Mashington just pitched. Madden Zimmerman not ready yet, and then Rince Shaw is not ready yet. So yeah, Lily Dubs is going to get a start here in the championship. She did that last year as well, and it paid off for her. Looking at what we can do with Babshishin currently tense. We saw Braden Sorelli. He's still tense after that walk-off home run to win the game. This is such a weird lineup with Fernanda Branch getting pulled out. But I want to do, I guess Sorelli will get a seat, or will take a seat in this one. I don't know what park the, I guess we can, no, we won't be able to see it. If I go over here really quick, go to the Dive Bombers, we can see that they play at, oh, that's right, Golden Field. Of course I remember that. Our team might have a field day at Golden Field with how much power our bats have. So I almost think this just changed again. What the heck? Do we keep this team the same? I don't know if I want to mess with things. I really wish Dalton Babshishin was hitting better. I wish that Braden Sorelli was hitting better. It's kind of a surprise that we've been able to do so well without those two hitters. Even Rock Quintana has been struggling, which has been really frustrating to watch. But I think I'm going to leave this as is. Their team is going to be very, very scary. Fist Gallagher out there in right field. He's locked in. Ralph Green with power bat. Ashley Ariano was their all-star. Kaylee Holcorn, good bat at third base. Martha Panther is kind of like their Dalton Babshishin. Sammy Hodges, not a good hitter there. We actually saw him on the team for a little bit, but didn't do much. And then we have Hugo Bass, the other all-star. Deacon Cannon, their shortstop, and then Deanna Andrews, who actually was an all-star in season 1. Rip Sutton will go to the mound. Let's see what they only have a 3-pitch rotation. So Brennan Lowe would be their second starter. Nola East would be their ace. And then they have, I'm guessing, Camilla Gregory? I'm not sure. Trip Hahn was their all-star. That's interesting. I don't know. We'll have to see what ends up playing out, but this is going to be a tough matchup. I am very, very tense for this one after watching how our offense has struggled a bit in these games, but we ended up winning. We pulled it off. So the last thing that we'll check on before we finish up is just taking a look at the league leaders now that we've played through 5 games and the and we are to the championship finals. We will now see that Bitzer Hines leads the top 10 in the playoffs here, especially after his complete game shutout against the Outlaws, who just scored 10 runs the outing before. Matthew Bowen gets the number 2 spot. Kaylee Holcorn having a really great year, or really great playoff run so far. She gets the number 3 spot. Tony Centercut, I don't know how you don't put him ahead of Kaylee Holcorn, but it is what it is. You see Fernanda Branch in the number 5 spot. She actually probably could be higher too. Then Hugo Base, we have Zane Dorsey, with Mr. Ingrown, Jedediah Anger, and Mags Drader to round out the top 10, but a lot of those players are going to drop off as we play these games. Tony Centercut leading the league in batting average. Fernanda Branch leading the league in home runs. Tony Centercut, Justice Cologne, Giovanni Mays all with 2. And then you see RBIs, Fernanda Branch. She has been a very unlikely hero for this team. Tony Centercut sweeping the percentages, leading in hits, tied for first, and then Giovanni Mays tied for extra base hits with 4. Runs scored goes to Alicia Guerra with Tony Centercut, Giovanni Mays, and Justice Cologne at number 4. Tied for second. 2 stolen bases for Tony Centercut. He also got caught stealing once. Braden Sorelli caught stealing twice, and Dalton Babshishin caught stealing once. Again, I hate the way they run the bases. Lots of wins over here for the Outlaws. Dane Rollins, as well as Rince Shaw in the ERA category. Chris Flopside with a save. Dane Rollins pitching very well, but I feel I'm nervous. They've been leaning on him a lot. Strikeouts, Bitzer Hines with 9, Madden and Brody both tied for second with 8, and then Dane Rollins with 7 so far. Dane just having his appearance all over the top 10 of all these playoff categories. Brody Mashington leading the playoffs for strikeouts per walk ratio, and just nice to see our Outlaws all over the playoff top league leaders. So we have first of a 3-game series in the league championship. The Outlaws looking to see if they can go back-to-back and win for the second time in 2 years, but they will have to go up against one of the best teams in the league over the history of this league, the Dive Bombers. So we will see what happens next time out. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having fun. Can't wait to see you next time. We'll talk to you later. Bye, everyone.